Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare, actual. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about how men and women use power differently, because this is a huge issue. My father actually used to talk to me about this. So this is, some old time male wisdom, because I'm sure he got it from someplace, else. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Hey, first, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it, especially donating. I'm just in a really tight situation. The state, has me between a rock and a hard place. There's really nothing I can do, and I'm just trying to survive to the point where I can get past, what's going on, and then I can, rebuild my situation. And not to go off on a side point, this is happening to men throughout our society. Our culture itself is working to harm the men. It's quite real. Let me get back to the subject because it's interrelated. How men and women use power differently. When a man gets a raise, when a man makes a breakthrough, when a man reaches a plateau, his ambition generally, can't speak for individuals, is to increase his responsibility. And this will, of course, increase his dominion. And this will, of course, increase his overall productivity and effectiveness. And at a certain level, power is a shared item. Only one person has power, but they have power by virtue of the fact that other people are cooperating with them. They're not giving it to them, but they're not fighting them tooth and nail. In other words, as a manager, I want your cooperation, not your submission. Okay, I am not a prince who's ruling a kingdom. I'm a manager with a staff, and I might be able to get my people to do what I tell them to do, but as soon as I'm not there to force them to do, the work, they're not going to do it. So there's not much of a future in getting submission from free men. You want their cooperation. And the men of power come to realize this. Say you build your enterprise, okay? You're starting at zero and now you're making 100,000. And this is an Alex Hermosi idea. In order to take it to the next level from, say, 100,000 to 1 million, you're going to have to stop doing all those little things that built the business. And you're going to have to hand that responsibility over to somebody else. And then you are going to have to take on a new set of responsibilities to build your enterprise from 100,000 a year to $1 million a year. And then when you get to the $1 million a year, again, you're going to have to hand off your responsibilities that you were doing to get you to 100 million a year to someone else. So, actually $1 million, right? Hand those responsibilities over so that you can then take the next step, take the new set of responsibilities, and get the company from 1 million to 100 million. And it's not just that, all right? When the man gains a new plateau, he wants to help his fellow men. He wants to build something. Men are primarily builders, okay? It's the truth. That's why the history of mankind is littered with the structures that we have built. The Great Wall of China is not a wall for one person, right? These are group projects. So let's say you have a new employee, a man, and he's not very skilled, but he's got a good attitude. So you train him up and you give him the skills. And at first he struggles and he makes mistakes. But over time, if he's disciplined and if he's motivated, he gets better at that job and he gets good at that job. and he gets fast at that job. And now you can give him his own crew. You can give him his, a new set of responsibilities. Not everybody wants it. What does he do with these new skills and these new responsibilities? Does he simply quit and go to a new company that offers him more money? Or does he repay that loyalty? Has that investment that you put into that man, it's being paid back. You understand, right? He's going to continue to work for you. So, high school sports, we're building you into an athlete, right? But not so that you can just be some egotistical loner who goes off and compliments themselves. No, building you into a leader so that you can lead other men. Not for your ego, not for you to build yourself up, but for you to genuinely lead other people. That's noble. That's virtue. That's masculine. What do women do when you give them power and you build them up? They isolate themselves. They indulge themselves. They build walls around themselves. They don't use their power to build up their community. They use their power to isolate and to separate themselves from their community, to rise above their community. That's why she's so beautiful. Right? That's all she cares about. How many hours a day do you think she's spending in the mirror? How much money do you think she's spending on her hair and her clothes? Do you really think that she can raise your children? You know your children will go hungry so that she can get cosmetic surgery. And you know that the beauty that cosmetic surgery gives her, she will not use to strengthen the family, but she will use to strengthen herself. Any money you make as a man belongs to the family. Any money the woman makes as a woman belongs to her. Any skill, any training, any ability that you invest into a man, he will most likely pay you back. Because loyalty, it's wise. It's a wise way to go. Will a woman? She won't. Would a child? They won't. So understand, why would you bother to put as much money into female sports as you put into male sports? Why? They're not going to make as much money. They don't care as much. How about female scholarships to medical school, right? On the one side, you're saying, well, Howard, we've got to be fair. It's only right. And individually, there are women who would make great doctors. There's no doubt on that. I'm not talking individually. I'm talking as a group. But the truth is, as a group, most of the women, by the time they reach, 35 or so, they don't want to be a doctor anymore. They want to start a family. But the man who took that scholarship at 35, is now 35, who took the scholarship and is now 35, he wants to start up a whole new branch of medical science. He wants to open up clinics around the world. He takes the responsibility and the power and uses it to transform and rebuild the world around him into a better place. What does the woman do? She takes the money, she takes the power, and she indulges her and her ego. She makes herself look very beautiful so that all kinds of strange men are looking at her and being attracted to her. Why should she do that? I mean, there's nothing wrong with feeling good about yourself and being healthy. That's wise. But, here's the man who works and gives his earnings over to the family, takes care of himself. Here's his woman who likes to dress up in a bikini and go out in public. That's a slap in the face. That's not right. So men and women use power differently. Empower a man and you empower the community. Empower a woman and you disempower the community. And I'm not even going to get into cancel culture. There's two ways to deal with culture Mainly. Actually, there's more than two, but the two main ways are you're coming into the situation and I'm trying to sell you on our culture. Okay. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is why we do it. This is how it works. Here's an example of it working. Do this with us. We will get these results. We will use the rewards from these results to accomplish these other things, which will accomplish these other rewards. We can then employ more people and build. That's one way to get culture across. And then the person buys in. The other way is flat out, this is our culture, and you will either fit into it or be filtered out of it. Cancel culture. What if their ideas are female ideas based on isolation and fluffing up their own nest? You want to be part of that culture? That's the culture that we are part of. We are part of a consumer culture that lives impulse to impulse. And we're talking about 5-second attention grabs for your attention. And it's destroyed the men's ability to comprehensively, cohesively encapsulate the entirety of their lives and their futures. No. Most of the men are being reduced to women and to children. You know this is true. Well, you just got to fit in, don't you? I don't mean it like that. You do need to fit in, but it's wrong to make men fit in to a maladaptive system that will lead to their own destruction and their own debasement and slavery while propping up temporarily pretty women. Really? Pretty is as pretty does. So how pretty is she for real, bro? I'm sure you've all experienced this. You know what I mean? Like, you're pining for a particular woman and you end up getting together with her, and a couple weeks down the road, it's like, no, she's not what you thought she was, right? She is that outside image, that puffed up ego, those fake boobs, that colored hair, that face and skin covered with makeup, those red lips, those red cheeks. She is none of those. She has none of those. Those are illusions. Those are painted. Bait and switch. Switching. Yeah, bait and switch, right? Yeah. Yeah, there have been instances, where the men have gotten together and married the women, and then for the first time seen them without their makeup and been like, no, I want a divorce. This isn't fair. This isn't right. I see images of the women, because I'm looking through the photos. And it's like, wow, this woman is stunningly beautiful. What a captivating photograph, right? But then I get to see an image of the woman without all the makeup on. It's a before and after situation. And it's like, my God, I would, look away. I would look away. So one image, I can't look away. It grabs my attention. Same woman, it hurts me to look at it. So where's the depth? Where's the substance of something like that? So you want to build up the women? Go right ahead, because you're tearing down your society and your culture. And you're harming the men on whose backs rests the future of your civilization. And I don't mean to over-dramatize things, but there it is. That's what I wanted to talk about. And this is what my father would say to me. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you training her to be a quarterback? She's not going to be a quarterback. She doesn't want to be a quarterback. Why are you training her to be a brain surgeon? In general, women don't want to be brain surgeons. Why are you training her to be corporate, business person of the year, right? Fortune 500 company runner. She doesn't even really want that. She wants that because she sees other people have that and it hurts her feelings. And now we have to give it to her. She won't even earn it. We have to give it to her. And if you don't go along with her as one of her professors, she threatens to give you a false accusation. How's that for an education? Right? So this is the level that we're experiencing now. What can you do as an individual man You can isolate yourself from this culture as best you can, and you can do the things that made men strong throughout history, and you still are in this particular fishbowl. So, we've still got troubles that we can't even fathom. We really are the people in Plato's caves looking at the images, the shadows on the wall. We don't even know what's really going on. We don't have a big enough picture. And sometimes I just want to, share some of my views on these subjects. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. And I appreciate everybody who's supporting the Howard Dare channel over on CashApp. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to, hope to, and will have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.